if I don't see you again. In the briefing. Thank you for always. You could have stopped taking the hard questions years ago, and you didn't. So we appreciate that.
Over 2 years, my friend. This is let's say one last dance, right? I don't know how I'm going to fill my dance card now. How will I fill that void without you?
You tell me. You tell me. So
start some rumors in here, I guess.
He's getting red too. Look at
so a week from now, it's all over.
Yes.
Between next Monday and 2028.
2028?
Who's the leader of the Democratic Party?
Oh my goodness. Wow. That is for people much smarter than I to make that assessment, that decision. Obviously, voters will decide. That is not something for me to decide. I could say right now, in this moment, in this room, as I'm looking at the clock as it's counting down, because we have to leave shortly, you have the President Joe Biden, who is obviously the president and the leader of the Democratic Party. I do not have I cannot predict the future, so that is not something that I'm going to do from here.
With only days left in the Biden administration, the question is still lingering. What will become of Karine Jean-Pierre after her final press briefing? Man, it's been a fun journey, man. It's been a real fun, and not by fun, I mean excruciating and cringe. But when you look back, we did have some funny moments that we're going to dive into, especially her interaction with Peter Dorsey. I always forget how you say it, but Ducey, right? Him saying, thank you for taking the hard questions. And she kind of shot a shot. She said, yeah, for over 2 years, my friend, this one the last day, got to figure out how I'm filling my time, His face did go red, though. I'm just saying. But on behalf of all Americans, thank you, Peter Ducey, for all your work exposing the illegitimate Biden regime. Shout out to Derek Evans for that right there, for sure. But we're going to dive into the drama, the exchanges, and the speculation surrounding her departure today. Like I said, the question is, what's next for Karine Pierre after this last dance? I'm very curious. This is how it all ends, y'all. With only 6 days left, how would you rate White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre on a scale of 1 to 10? I would definitely like to know the answer to that in the comment section. But as I'm waiting on y'all's to queue, I'll be reading a few of these. My voice is going hoarse right now. I don't know what's happening. But it says, although she was not my favorite, I give her a 10 because she had an impossible job that she was hard to do. I would not want to be in her shoes for anything. She shared the information she was given and allowed to share. I'm sure it was not easy. Hey, man, a lot of compromised integrity, for sure. Karine Jean-Pierre on a scale of 1 to 10, I give her a solid 4 on 4 because that's how often her answers could be found. The error. That's crazy. Somebody said negative. That's just too many zeros behind that one. And I ain't even gonna repeat, but I'm gonna say worthless, cereal, and I'll stop there. And then lying. No, I'll give y'all those. Somebody said the real question is, how do you weight her, Simon? Ooh, somebody said F-. 5, yes, -5. That's right. We just got less than a week away. Days left. The countdown is very real right now. And if we are evaluating Karine, or if we're evaluating her or KJP on a scale from 1 to 10, I kind of find myself a bit torn right now. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm a little torn because her resilience and amidst her criticism is commendable. But all the controversies that she tried to cover up, man, them things, they hard to ignore. You got to reflect on her performance for sure. Like, was it a success? Was it a struggle? The public opinion is definitely divided between right and left. And I'm going to tell you the color. Well, damn, I got on red and blue. I guess I'm showing unity today. But I'm on the red side of things, is what I was getting at. As we near the end, I'm curious about how the public rates her tenure for sure. So definitely let me know that in the comment right now. The anticipation is building for sure for me. Now, we got this next post right here that I want y'all to see before we get into how that whole press conference went, her final one. We're just gonna take a trip down memory lane, a 8-second memory lane. where she called the president
The president has been extremely focused on ensuring that everything possible be done to complete this investigation.
Hold up, now this post done tricked me. Y'all, did that sound like she said the resident? Because when I played it back that time, when I heard it the first time after reading the caption, it sounded like she said the resident. But now that I ain't read the caption, she put a P in front of that. Hold on, I'm gonna check out the comment section. Is there evidence to the contrary? Oh my God. Is there evidence to the contrary? Wow, that's funny. Somebody said, I heard vice resident. Somebody said the jig is up, I guess. You're right all along. She watches you. I didn't hear it. Funny as if it would be, though. What is this? What's really going on in the White House? Oh my gosh. You know what? This has to go on the thumbnail. If it ain't this one, it's going to be on another one. I'm letting y'all know right now. Honestly, though, man, where does she go from here? By the way, yellow has to be her favorite color when it comes to making these type of... You'll figure out why in a minute. It don't make sense yet, but you'll know why when I play the next clip. But yeah, man, you got to ponder what is her career going to be like, how she's going to redefine it after the White House, because I'm curious if she's going to be typecast, so to speak. She gonna have a hard time from here trying to find another career path. Do y'all think she'll end up going red pill though? Do y'all think she gonna end up creating a YouTube channel and going, look, bro, look, I work at the White House, dog. I can't even do it. I can see on Dan Bongino's show right now, like, yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it. The transition from government to media isn't always smooth, but you gotta wonder how she's gonna manage to do it successfully. I have no doubt in my mind that regardless of our strong differences of opinions and on a lot of things, I don't wish her the worst in no scenario. But it's definitely suspenseful. I'm over here like, but will her next move surprise us all? I don't think so. And here she goes from drunk driver to comedian, the caption says, and you see the color?
As far as the questions about the president's health, I think that would be all cleared up if we could just ask him to step out of that door into this room for 45 minutes. And so I ask you again to pass that along to him, to ask him to come out and see us.
I appreciate the request. Thank you for the request. The president, as you know,
look at them eyes blinking right there, though. Hold on. She blinking them eyes. Hold on. Just look at him. She over there pondering some BS to say.
The president, as you know.
She was on the diet today. Word salad.
Again, I appreciate the question and I get it. And the president understands. You guys want to ask him questions and have the opportunity for him to answer your questions. I do want to say...
what?
This is a president that has done more in the first 2.5 years, when it comes to the economy, when it comes to really giving the American people a little bit of breathing room than any other president.
What? Now, we can kind of say that her last press conference, well, it is. It's going to be considered historic. It was historic for sure. Now, KJP's interaction with Peter Doocy was filled with a lot of mixed emotions. It was humor and warmth, definitely a stark contrast to their sparring that they do for show. But the laughter and the camaraderie in the room, to make you think, is this how it all ends? Really? It was a moment of, 10-year, how do I say this? All of the political tension was just cut in half, and it was cool to see, despite our differences for sure. As we witnessed this final interaction, though, will this be a memory that defines KJP and her time at the White House or not?
People clapping in the back. Thank you, Jake. Thank you for your service, and it's truly been an honor to serve in this administration with you. I wanted to give Jake as much time as possible. We do not have a lot of time because, as you know, the president is going to be heading out to the State Department to give his final speech on the foreign policy. So trying to figure out what's the best thing to do here. I can take a couple questions, but we are going to have to end in about, okay. I apologize for that. Okay, Josh, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Hopefully it's not my last time to see you at the podium.
We can do a separate briefing later.
Okay. Don't put anything out there, please.
Some Republicans are saying that wildfire aid should be tied to increasing the debt ceiling. What does the administration make of that, and what are the plans for continuity for people that are wondering about what the next week could hold for them?
Yeah, so look, I'm not going to get into these hypotheticals and potentials of policies and what's going to happen moving forward. We are very much focused on what's happening on the ground, helping local and state officials. And certainly we see what the brave firefighters are doing to trying to contain these wildfires, protecting lives and property. And it has been just amazing to watch this certainly unprecedented event. And so what we're going to do on the federal level, as you've heard this president, we've read out calls that he's done, briefings that he's done. You've seen him in person, take questions from your colleagues about the federal response here. And what we want to do is ensure that we provide every resource available to firefighters, to first responders. And so our commitment right now is to continue to support the communities on the ground through different disaster assistant programs and federal government that the federal government could certainly provide. And so that's our focus. Not going to get into what it could look like down the road. What we want to do is make sure that we are dealing with this unprecedented, horrific, catastrophic moment that we're seeing Southern California having to deal with. And we are very appreciative of firefighters, first responders, and obviously the community that we're seeing on the ground is certainly heartwarming. Hi.
Thank you, Karine. If I don't see you again. In the briefing. Thank you for always. You could have stopped taking the hard questions years ago, and you didn't. So we appreciate that.
Over 2 years, my friend. This is let's say one last dance, right? I don't know how I'm going to fill my dance card now. How will I fill that void without you?
You tell me. You tell me.
Tell me.
So
start some rumors in here, I guess.
We may not like the way she think, but you can't say
so a week from now, it's all over.
Yes.
Between next Monday and 2028.
2028?
Who's the leader of the Democratic Party?
Oh my goodness. Wow. That is for people much smarter than I to make that assessment, that decision. Obviously, voters will decide. That is not something for me to decide. I could say right now, in this moment, in this room, as I'm looking at the clock as it's counting down, because we have to leave shortly, you have the President Joe Biden, who is obviously the president and the leader of the Democratic Party. I do not have I cannot predict the future, so that is not something that I'm going to do from here.
So, no leader of the party.
That's not what I said.
Obama's the leader of the party. What do you mean? I don't think he gonna return. He want his revenge from Trump. I'm just saying.
Well, it's not President Biden, and it's not Vice President.
I'm regretting this right now. Regretting all of this.
It's nobody.
That's not what I said. I said that you asked me about what's the 2028 is going to look like between now and 2028. I can't, or post obviously this president's tenure. That's not for me to decide. That's not for me to speak to.
Yo, my brain is itching.
Speak about the here and now. And that's why I appreciate this job and what I'm doing right now.
And President Biden says that he's not going to be out of sight, out of mind. But isn't that what voters basically said that they wanted? Is him gone?
So, look, this is a president that has served more than 50 years, who has given all of himself, if you will, right, as a public servant, whether as a senator, as a local elected official.
Trust me, we wanted him to go sit down. We wanted him to go sit down.
As vice president and now as president. I think anybody who has served that long and does it from their heart and soul because they believe this country deserves so much more. They believe that the American people deserve more.
Oh, she's selling.
Worked day in and day out, certainly as president in the last 4 years, I think deserves some respect. I think he deserves some respect. And so I'll leave it there.
Well, that is, y'all. From heated exchanges to heartfelt goodbyes, KJP's tenure has been anything but ordinary, okay? And yeah, man, it's just a matter of days before we say goodbye.